The story begins with a young couple, Matt and Nadia, who have just moved into their new home. The house is in a desolate area with no other houses or population nearby. Tired of the city's hustle and bustle, Matt and Nadia wanted a quiet place like this, and this beautiful house came to Matt at a very low price. When the two enter the house, it's in pretty bad shape, as if it had been empty for years, so they start cleaning the house. And whatever junk there is, Matt throws out the window. While cleaning the kitchen, Nadia spots a dead bird, which she takes outside to bury. But then Matt calls out to Nadia from the upstairs window, drawing her attention upward to him. And when she looks back at the bird, it has vanished. This strikes Nadia as strange, and she wonders where the bird suddenly disappeared to. On the other side, Matt notices a strange thing in the wall, and to examine it, he tears off the wallpaper. There he finds a large door that requires a key to open. Now Matt starts searching for the door's key and finds it in the junk thrown outside. After that, he inserts the key into the lock and opens the door. Nadia arrives there too. The two see that inside is a room with pitch black darkness, and as soon as they step into the room, the lights outside suddenly start flickering. Seeing this, both feel something is wrong, and to fix the problem, Matt says they should call an electrician. Saying this, he leaves from there, and Nadia is left alone near the room. Nadia now wonders whether she should go into the room or not, but then she feels a strange fear, so she follows Matt. Thus, the night passes, and the next day, Nadia calls an electrician. After a while, an electrician arrives to fix the flickering lights. While checking the house lights, he reaches the basement, and the sight there leaves him stunned, because the entire basement is filled with electrical wires. There wasn't a single corner without wires. The wires looked from a very old era, and the electrician says, "I've never seen anything like this in my life." Anyway, the electrician somehow gets the house lights working and starts to leave. And while leaving, he says to Matt, "Why on earth did you buy this house? The previous owner was murdered right here in this house, and since that day, no one has been willing to live in it." Hearing this, Matt gets very scared, and he starts researching the house. During the research on the internet, Matt finds out about the Thompson family in an old news article. It was a couple, and the article stated that the couple living in the house was killed by their own son, whose name was John. During the investigation, John tells the police, "I was made to commit this murder by the house." Seeing this, Matt thinks it's a fake story, and after researching for hours, he gets tired. Then, hiding from his wife, he sits in that dark room drinking alcohol. There were already 2 sips left in the bottle, which he drinks and empties it. And he thinks to himself, "I wish I had another bottle to drink." Suddenly the lights start flickering, and for a while the lights go out. And when the lights come back on, there's a bottle of alcohol in front of him. Seeing this, his eyes widen, and when he touches the bottle to check, he realizes it's a real bottle, meaning this room can fulfill any wish. The next morning, Nadia wakes up from sleep. She sees that Matt isn't there, so she goes to the room to look for Matt. There, she sees the entire room filled with expensive paintings and new things, and Matt is very happy. Matt tells Nadia that this room has the power to fulfill any wish. He says to Nadia, "Whatever you want, just wish for it from your heart, and it will appear before you." Hearing this, Nadia thinks Matt's words are a joke, so she starts laughing at Matt. But Matt says, "Just try it once." Then Nadia says, "Okay, fine. I need a job right now, so I'll wish for that." Then Matt explains to her that this room can't give a job. Wish for something from it. After that, Nadia closes her eyes and wishes for $1,000, and in the blink of an eye, they get $1,000. But still, Nadia isn't fully convinced, so she wishes again for $1 million. And just like before, this time too, they get $1 million. Now Nadia is also convinced that this room is no ordinary room, but one that fulfills every wish. And then what? These people start wishing for one expensive thing after another from the room, and the thing appears before them. They accumulate expensive wine, luxury clothes, diamonds, gold, food and drink items, and heaps of money. The two become millionaires overnight, and happily, their life starts passing. At night, Nadia asks Matt, "How is this room fulfilling so many of our wishes, but Matt says, we shouldn't think about this at all. We should just enjoy thus. The two live like billionaires for the next several days. Every time they had a wish, the lights would flicker, and all their desires would be instantly fulfilled in the room made in the basement. The two dance, party, and have a great time. But their glamorous life was a guest for only a few days, and now their bad days were about to begin. Although this room could give everything, there was one thing that was the biggest wish of their lives, and the room could give it too. But the two weren't ready to ask the room for that thing, and that thing was nothing but a child. One day, Matt gifts Nadia a baby swing, which was a hint that we should try for a baby. Matt explains to Nadia that we should try once again, but Nadia isn't ready for it because she had already had 2 miscarriages. Now Nadia gets upset. After thinking for a long time, she goes to the room and wishes for a baby. And she gets the baby too. When Matt comes and sees Nadia with the baby, he gets very angry and starts scolding Nadia. You shouldn't have taken the baby without permission. This leads to a long argument between the two. Nadia says she took this shortcut so she wouldn't have to endure the pain of miscarriage or labor. She says, we both will be very happy with this baby. But Matt isn't ready to accept the baby, and he says to Nadia, go to the room and wish for the room to take the baby back. Now, unwillingly, Nadia comes to the room and tries to make the baby disappear, but she can't do it. So she hands the baby over to Matt. Now, holding the baby, Matt also becomes emotional. And he too can't wish to make the baby disappear, and puts the baby back in Nadia's lap. Now the two decide that they will raise this baby, and thus the two become parents to a child. Now with the baby, Nadia was very happy, but Matt had no attachment to the baby at all, and Matt wanted to gather more information about the room. So he starts researching again, and he finds out that the boy who killed the house's owner, meaning his parents, is still alive and is living life in a mental hospital. After learning this, Matt puts some money from the pile of money wished for into his pocket and sets out to meet John. After reaching the hospital, the nurse asks Matt, are you a reporter? Because in the last 45 years, no family member has come for John. Hearing this, Matt lies, I'm a reporter too. A while later, John arrives. John had grown old, and John sits at the table behind and says to Matt, I was waiting for you. Hearing this, Matt feels something strange, and he directly asks John, what do you know about this room? And why did you kill your mom and dad? Then John says, I didn't kill my parents. The room made me do it. After that, John smiles and says, I know you're enjoying right now. Good food and drink, expensive clothes and enjoyment. But soon, you'll have to pay the price for it. And John tells Matt, leave this house as soon as possible. Matt doesn't think John's mental state is right, so he leaves him there and starts returning home. On the way, he stops the car at a gas station to fill up. After filling the gas, when Matt puts his hand in his pocket to pay the employee instead of money, ash comes out in his hand. Seeing this, he gets worried, and from the other pocket, he hands money to the employee and reaches home directly and starts thinking, when he left, he had put heaps of money in his pocket. Then where did the money suddenly disappear to? Now, to confirm this, he takes the money he had wished for from the room and throws it out the window, and in the blink of an eye, the money suddenly disappears. After that, Matt takes a painting wished for from the room and keeps half of it inside the house and half outside. After a while, the part that was outside the house turns to ash, and the remaining part stays the same. Seeing this, Matt understands that they cannot take anything given by this room outside the house. Otherwise, all those things will turn to ash. Matt now starts breaking the room's wall, so he can find out what is hidden in this room. But inside the walls, besides tangled wires, there was nothing else. Everywhere just wires and wires. Nadia also arrives there due to the noise of breaking the walls. Nadia starts going outside, holding the baby, but Matt stops her from going outside and says, it's not safe to take the baby outside. He doesn't tell her the real reason, but he himself had figured out that whatever was wished for from this room, taking it out of here would destroy it. But despite Matt stopping her, Nadia takes the baby outside. As soon as she takes it outside, the baby starts crying loudly, and its color starts changing. Seeing this, Nadia also starts screaming. Hearing Nadia's voice, Matt runs to her and picks up both both and brings them inside the house. And now we see that the small baby is no longer a small baby, but in just a few seconds, he has become an 8-year-old boy. Here, Matt tells Nadia the whole truth, that this room can fulfill our every wish, but we cannot take its given things outside the house. She considers him her son and names the baby Shane. Shane was very different from other children. He doesn't listen to anyone and nothing affects him. His actions were not childlike at all. During meals, he used to eat ice. But despite all these actions, Nadia loved Shane very much. Nadia explains to Shane that he cannot go outside the house because there are dangerous people outside who will kill him. Hearing this, Shane becomes very disappointed and looks at the outside world from the window or door inside the house. Whenever Nadia went out of the house or came inside, she would lock the door so Shane couldn't go out of the house. One day, when Shane was playing with a snow globe in the house, Matt arrives there. Now, because Matt had no attachment to Shane at all, he scolds Shane, "You shouldn't play here." Out of fear, the snow globe falls from Shane's hand and breaks. Shane feels very hurt by Matt's behavior. At night, Shane goes near their room and secretly listens to Nadia and Matt's conversations. The two talk about the room. Hearing this, Shane starts suspecting that there must be something in this room that I don't know about. He thinks, I don't know why these two don't let me go outside the house and tell me to stay away from this room. So Shane picks up a flashlight and starts investigating the house. And moving forward, he reaches straight to the basement where there were heaps of tangled wires. Passing through all of them, he finally reaches the room, and here he finds out the whole secret. All night, the lights flicker throughout the house, but Matt and Nadia don't notice anything because they are asleep. The next morning, when Matt's eyes open, he sees a new snow globe lying next to him and the broken globe at some distance. Seeing this, he gets worried about who made this new globe. Matt goes straight to Nadia and wakes her up and asks, "Did you wish for this globe from that room?" To which Nadia says, "No, I didn't wish for this globe." Then, at the same time, seeing the lights flickering, he understands that all this is Shane's doing. The two quickly run toward the room, and arriving there, the two are stunned. Now, because Shane wasn't allowed to go outside the house, he, keeping the wish to go outside in his heart, wishes from the room for a very large outdoor area for himself, where there was an open sky and a big forest, and Shane was playing happily there. Nadia becomes happy seeing the world created by her son and starts playing with him. But Matt is not happy at all with Shane's action, because he was afraid that he might wish for a gun or something wrong from the room, which could put their lives in danger. So he grabs Shane by the hand and brings him back inside the house. Now Matt keeps the room's key with himself and forbids Shane from going into the room, but Nadia stops Matt from doing so. She says, "We already don't let Shane go outside the house. Now the poor guy has made a separate outdoor for himself, so we shouldn't stop him from going there, and his life isn't in danger there either." But Matt doesn't listen to Nadia and says, "Shane is still naive. I'm afraid he might mistakenly wish for something from this room that puts us both in danger." Then the phone rings, and without permission, Shane picks up the phone. But quickly Matt snatches the phone from him and starts talking himself. On the other end of the call was John, who, hearing Shane's voice, understood that Matt had wished for a child from this room. Now Matt doesn't hide anything from him and says, "How do we get rid of this child from our lives?" Meanwhile, in the kitchen, from the other phone kept there, Nadia starts secretly listening to both of their conversations. John tells him his truth. "I was also wished for from this room. I killed my parents because I also wanted to see the outside world. But when I went out of the house, my age started increasing, and when I asked the room, it told me that if you want to go out of this house, you have to kill the person who wished for you. So I killed the woman who wished for me, and along with her husband too. This is why I'm in jail today." He tells Matt, "My and Shane's story is the same. If you want to save Shane and show him the outside world, you have to kill the person who wished for Shane. Now, if you wished for Shane, you have to sacrifice yourself." and if your wife wished for Shane, then you have to kill her. Nadia comes to him and picks up the ash made from his body in her hand and starts crying, because Nadia had considered him her son. After that, Matt comes to Nadia, and the two hug each other. Now the scene shifts, and we are shown a scene a few months later, where Matt and Nadia settle in a small house and start living peacefully. But after a few days, Nadia fearfully does her pregnancy test, and the report comes positive, meaning now a baby of their own is coming for the two. With this, the story ends.